Hi, it's Dave Robinson with PlantCoverCrops.com. We are west of Lodi, Wisconsin, not far from University of Wisconsin, where we've done some videos in years past. This is actually a field of was corn silage, aerial applied with annual ryegrass, and then manure was knifed in this section of this field. Got a beautiful stand. The one thing to recognize that we have no skips in the aerial application. This was applied by Reabe Spraying Services out of Waupun, Wisconsin, and just a really outstanding job of aerial application. We've got a really good stand. We had good sunlight down in here. We had little moisture early, but we had good sunlight, and what moisture did come benefited that greatly. So we've got a real good stand in through this section, and what we're going to be looking at in just a little bit here is the idea that this manure was knifed on. There's another part of the field where the manure was put on top, and I think we're going to start seeing a difference in what the stand on the annual ryegrass is and how it is handling the on top application of manure compared to being knifed in. Now, Damon Reabe and I just did some digging and found that there's a hard pan here around a foot deep. The annual ryegrass roots are through that all right now, and there were not a lot of roots in there yet, but in through that point yet, but there's still quite a few. Now we're into the section where the manure was put on top, and we can see that the annual ryegrass doesn't have near the consistency of stand, not because it wasn't flown on well, but because it's had a lot of traffic. It now has a lot of coverage. So you can see actually here where the annual ryegrass is considerably smaller here. Doesn't have the stooling, has very little growth on it comparatively speaking, because that manure has literally covered up that, so you really don't have any good sunlight getting down to the ground where that ryegrass was. We actually have some ryegrass that's still coming up right here, and again, as we pan over here to the right, we can see where we've got a better stand again, where the manure was not thrown out on top, at least not as much disturbance of the ryegrass over on this section over here. But in this area here where there's a lot of manure that's been put on just in this strip, it's just considerable difference than what we've got in the rest of the field on either side. So some keys there is if you're putting on manure, make sure you spread it out nicely. Knifing it in obviously pays off better than throwing it on top, but also the fact that these plants, the cover crops, still need to have that sunlight. They still need to have the best opportunity to grow. I mean, we're mid-November here in central Wisconsin, and you know, the ryegrass is in here. The chance of it surviving is pretty slim. But where we've got it on these other sections and on the hills, it's awesome. And I think the best news here is we're holding on to the nutrients. We're getting through the plow pan, and whether this survives the winter or not, and we anticipate it probably will, that we're already doing a great job of holding those nutrients, holding the soil, and on these, we're building soil. We're getting through that plow pan. Again, Dave Robinson, PlantCoverCrops.com, Central Wisconsin, in the middle of November 2000.